Hi, welcome to the Dirt Trail Running Podcast. My name is Michelle Hartwig, and I am your host. And I got a bunch of really cool co-hosts with me tonight. I'll let them introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Nikki.
Ryan.
Crystal.
Michelle.
Hey, I'm Sid. Woo!
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 Yeah, so all of these people were pretty big roles at the Hennepin 100, and I don't know, we were just gonna kind of go over some of the big things that happened at the race and share some stories. I don't know. I guess we should probably start with thanking some of the people that did huge stuff for us at the race, like Jenny Thorson. Did amazing photos. I don't know if you guys saw those, but they're posted on our Hennepin training page. And I'll be sending out an email too. I was waiting on a couple other things to come out. An email for sure will go out tomorrow. And then we had a great video by Chris Pagacco. I need to learn how to say his name well, but he's the Crispy Dumpling YouTube channel, and he produces really, really great videos. Make sure you go over, subscribe to his channel, give him a like, and watch it. And then, of course, our amazing aid stations. And Michelle Schuler, she was our volunteer coordinator for the day that stopped by all the different aid stations. How long did that take you, Michelle?
It really didn't stop. I would just get going along and then go back for something. I feel terrible. I forgot aid station 11, the run junkies. So I'm moving on to, 16 and realized I forgot 11. So I had to go back. So
that's a hard one to go to.
Oh, it was.
It's like a bumpy road.
Maybe that's why I forgot them. It was completely unintentional, but yeah. And they're a great group, by the way. So
yeah.
But yeah, it was just going.
And we ended up being such a great team out there. Like, my car's so bright, and stations would need stuff, so we would just drive at each other and pass stuff around, and you'd do your lights oh, I see the blue Jeep
flashing. Yeah. But there was a blue Jeep like yours, and I was coming up to aid station 3, and my arm's out the window, and I'm waving. And then they pull up, and the guy's looking at me like, what? I was like, oh, hey. So thankfully that only happened once.
And then the day started really super funny too. So, well, for one thing, all year long, my husband's been in trouble because he keeps forgetting to put my microphone in for my races. So I've had to start the races without my microphone, which is not good when you got 400 people that you need to gather together at one time. And Hennepin's big. It's 550 people. So he was saying to me, do you want me to put the microphone in there on my arm? I'm like, yes, you do. Tattoo that on your arm because I need the microphone. Well, then I show up race morning, and the generator was leaking oil, and the generator wouldn't come on. So I couldn't, my speakers weren't working. So I called Michelle 5 a.m. and I'm in Sterling. I'm like, hey, do you know any Yetis that might have an extra generator or some oil to help me with my generator? She goes, well, I'll see what I can do. 2 minutes later, a Yeti pulls up. Do you need some oil? I'm going to fix your generator, and fixes it, and it's ready in 5 minutes. So the Yeti Running Club was absolutely amazing and helping the race. So that was super cool. So that was John Wyke that showed up. So
yep.
Thank you, Yetis. And then
that was John.
So yeah, I see we got some people in. Feel free to ask us questions or interject in there. We'll read what everybody has. I can see anyhow what everybody has. Let's see what else. So our first aid station was Fitness on the Rock, or 724 Fitness on the Rock. They have a gorgeous gym on the Rock River right by the race start, and they were a new aid station for us. Michelle, have you taken classes there?
I haven't. I know Nick Peppers just from seeing him in the community. It's been my intention to get over there. They have great classes that they hold right on the riverfront underneath the band shell. And they have a really big local following. I've been in yoga teacher training for the past 6-ish months. So I haven't made it down there, but now that I'm through that, I definitely will.
Yeah, that was really cool to have them. And yeah, thanks to them. And then the second aid station, the Yetis were everywhere. They took care of Andy Colbert was the captain at that aid station. And every time on Facebook, if I said, oh, I need some help here, Andy's like, can I do that? I'm like, no, you got an aid station. But he was like all over the place helping. So really, really super awesome. And then aid station 3 was Friends of the Hennepin Canal. And actually the captain of that had to cancel because he was around somebody that got COVID. So he had to quarantine. And he never got sick. I checked in with him this week. But Matt and Danielle Hussick, how do I say their name, Michelle?
Usong, I believe.
Yeah. They stepped in and captained and took a lot of really, really great pictures. I think they got a great picture of Ryan and Kayla.
Yeah. He was up on the bridge, but she was looking down. Like she was looking up and she saw. It was pretty great.
And so you should, for anybody listening, why don't you tell Ryan now what you did at the race?
I ran the 50K, pushing my daughter Kala in a humongous stroller. Her chariot.
Her chariot, yeah.
Cool.
And so was that the longest that she's ever rode in the chariot?
Yeah, it was definitely the longest. We've done a lot of practice and she's built up her hours, but her longest run was 6 hours up till that. A lot of times she sees our house and she's like, okay, I'm done. So she knew that this was the race and she did so amazing. I mean, she's 5 years old and she maybe took 2 short little naps. She was just so energized by it. Whenever we came into aid stations, she was getting super excited. And we had my friend Brenda Fay ran with us. And when she was trying to push my pace, Kala thought she was beating us and she was like yelling, ah, and like rocking, trying to make me go faster. She had the best time.
Yeah, the pictures
and so
are
it was
so cute.
11 and a half hours and she just rode along and she was in it to win it.
And that was actually a PR for you for 50K.
Yeah.
And the last time you weren't pushing a chariot.
No, I was not.
So that's super impressive. Very good job, Ryan.
Yeah,
You've really gotten a lot stronger in the last year.
I know. We had our first run back, like we're recovered bike rides all week. Today was our first run back and I was just going to do an easy run and then I ended up doing a 5K PR pushing her. So she loved it. She was like, yes, we're going real fast.
Wow.
That's awesome.
I mean, real fast for us.
No, that's real fast. That's good. Well, great. Thank you. So then we'll go on to the next aid station. So then we got Fleet Feet Davenport took care of aid station 4, and Fleet Feet Phil, he ran super fast. He came in second at in the 50-mile race behind Taggart, who set a new course record for us. And then for aid station 5, we had Thomas and Beth Rademacher. They're from Kankakee, and they make a great aid station, and they dance the entire time. And I think that they might have even camped there the night before. I know that they have in the past. And then, of course, then aid station 6, we had Natalie Brunson and her family and the Coyotes. And that was an awesome aid station. And we had a really funny incident there. So the first time ever on our confusion corner, we had somebody pass it and start heading back up towards Rock Falls. They passed 3 giant wrong way signs and all the runners telling them you're going the wrong way, and made it all the way to Natalie's aid station. So the guy was supposed to do a 6 mile. He was only supposed to run the 10 junk mile aid station, and he ended up having to run all the way to Natalie's and wanted to keep on going. But Natalie was like, no, you are not going. And Natalie's got like as many kids as Nikki. And so she knows how to stop somebody. And he was like determined to keep going. And so then he ran back. And so his 6 mile leg ended up being like, 15 miles or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
So that was pretty funny. And then they still won. They were still the first relay team. It was the relay team that did that. They still.
Wow.
So yeah, that was real. They were laughing, and we made them a special award for being the first person to go wrong way, and his teammates were making fun of him, but it was fun. So then let's see. So yeah, let's see. That's Natalie, and then the next one we got aid station 715, which was Susan and Brian Smock, and they really had a lot of help from Erica and Becky Lee too. That's our busiest station. That's where the 50K starts, and that's where you go back out and head towards that confusion corner. And it's super busy, and they did a fantastic job. And then we had, of course, the 10 junk miles came back. Did anybody get to stop out there and have pig roast?
Mm-mm.
What about you, Sid? Did you go to 10 junk miles?
I did get out there, and I did the opposite of eat a pig roast. Let's just say that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much where it all ended for me. After that, it was just downhill. So
Did you make
it? Was a great aid station.
Yeah. Did you make it? So you were doing the 100-mile race?
Right. I was signed up for the 100 again, and I made it to, I think, mile 32, and after that I couldn't keep any food down. So I did get to 10 junk miles, and I did get out to 50 and back to 54, and that's where I decided to end it all,
Yeah.
so to speak.
Oh, that's too bad. It was really humid out and unseasonably hot. And
Yeah, there were a lot of people on the trail with stomach issues. I thought it was strange to see so many people just just bent over on the side of the trail, doing that. And it just seemed like a big year for that.
yeah.
I've never once had any stomach issues, and in the middle of the night I was doubled over. I was like, I think I'm gonna throw up, and like I've always told myself, well, I'll be fine because I can eat anything. Food and me, we don't have a problem with intake, but I had a lot of trouble out there.
I think it had to do with the heat, just the humidity.
Yeah, you could feel it coming off of the canal.
And I think it actually got hotter at night and more humid. That's when you I noticed right when the 50K started, all of a sudden the temperature went up and the humidity went up, and I was feeling bad for the 50K runners that were out there racing because I was thinking, oh, we're gonna get a cool down, but no.
Yeah, we were all looking forward to it cooling off, and then it got warmer.
Yeah, Brenda kept telling me it's gonna cool off as soon as the sun goes down, and I was, oh, it's not cool.
It finally cooled off. It finally cooled off when the sun came up. That's finally
Yeah.
I was shivering at the finish line for a while.
Yeah, at Kettle, I was freezing cold at night, and Kettle was just unbearably hot during the day. And at Hennepin, I never once I was like hot all night long. It was very, very humid. So and it showed. We had 300 signed up, 250 started for the 100. We had 300 in the 100, And we had, I think, about 135, maybe it was 100, I might have been closer to 140 that finished. It was over 50%. It was like 60 some percent finish rate. So the humidity definitely took a toll on people.
But that was better than Kettle then, because Kettle was less than that, wasn't it?
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
Kettle was 22% finish rate. I mean, it
The
was
daytime was much more brutal at Kettle than it was at Hennepin. The night was really cold, though. I agree.
So, Michelle, since you are now holding Kettle and the Hennepin 100 on the hottest days and Frozen Gnome on the coldest day, maybe you could find out what the temperature swing is between the events.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to watch for that at Frozen Dome. We're going to be so happy. Well, we're going to be, I don't know if we'll be so happy when it's 10 below zero actual temperature. But I don't know. I don't think anybody's going to be complaining after this year. All the races were hot this year. I thought.
Oh, I hope that there's so much snow at Frozen Gnome. I need it to be. I want to slide down Slide Hill.
Yeah. Yeah, one year in April, like 1 week before Earth Day, totally snowed. It looked like Frozen Gnome weather. And then we have Soul Crusher coming up. Hopefully, maybe that'll be the race that we finally get some cool weather, because it's cold. Actually, so when I took down the course markings on Monday after the race, and every time I got out of the car, I was like, "Brr, I'm cold. I need a jacket." It was like 60 degrees on Monday, a high. Not fair. So let's see. Well, the next one was Trail Sisters Quad Cities. That was another new aid station, and they did a fantastic job. And let's see, who was that? Tiffany Anderson had that aid station. Did anybody get to make it out to that station?
I ran through that aid station.
No, you did not. That was the other direction.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because the 50Ks doesn't do that. Yeah, next year, are you going to do the longer distance?
Oh, because you made it to aid station 7 and 15, so then I was like, okay, I'm here.
Yeah.
Because I just kind of ran through.
Yeah,
No,
sorry.
you
Yeah, that's
haven't
kind of
gotten around yet.
confusing. Yeah.
You know, Tiffany seemed, she would reach out if she needed something. Pickles, pickle juice. She really cared about having what she thought the runners were going to need. So I think she did a great job of having everything available that runners would want. So.
Yeah, they had a lot of fun. Like, it was really wild as the race director, because everybody works so hard out there. And then after the race, like all the aid station captains that like had just worked for like 20 hours on their aid station were sending me thank yous for getting to do that. And she was one of them. And they had brought an extra tent to their station, and they donated it to us for the good of the race. So and it was a nice, bright, colorful tent. So we'll put that. Hopefully they'll want to come back next year, and we'll put that up at their aid station. Yeah, we had a little drama at their station before the race. We actually just figured out that someone stole some tables there. So as we had quite a bit of theft actually on the course before the race this year. Theirs was one of the stations. I got there and they only had one table, and I'm like, wow, I thought my husband and Brian that were delivering tables must have forgot to drop off 2 of their tables, because I knew they were supposed to have 3. But I had some tables in the Jeep, so I gave them to him. And then I was talking to my husband, and he goes, no, we for sure dropped off 3 tables there. That means somebody drove by. And he's not that far in front of them getting there. So I talked to IDNR, and they're going to put cameras up at the different stations for us, so that at least we'll know who stole it. And if they see the cameras, maybe they'll think twice about it. Because we also had everything from the Quad Cities aid station 20 stolen. And within 45 minutes of us dropping it off, they took the firewood and the food and the coolers. And so Royal had to go to Walmart and rebuy everything and set it back up, and he's on a tight schedule. Probably was when he was supposed to be taking his one, 30-minute nap during the race.
Wow.
Yeah.
Has that ever happened before, Michelle?
It's never happened before. I don't know it. I mean, maybe the community's getting more aware of the race. I think that maybe the community needs to understand what good we're doing. Like we donated $6,000 this year. Last year, 2019, we donated $7,500. I mean, it's been numbers like that every single year. And in fact, they're up to almost $32,000 now of donations. Not all of it's from us, but the majority of it is. And they're going to be able to buy a boat to clean the canal, because it's a water trail and a foot trail, and we need the water to stay in there and be nice and kayak and stuff like that. So because of those donations, they're going to be able to do that. So I kind of want to work on making sure the community realizes what good we're doing so that they don't want to steal our stuff, because we're not going to be able to do that if we're spending, we had to spend like $600 on stuff that we had to buy that was stolen from us during the race. But there was a lot of good stuff, so I don't want to talk about bummer stuff, but it was just interesting that happened, and we'll have to work on a plan for that for next year. Let's see, where are we at? I want to make sure we thank all the volunteer stations, because everybody was super special. So we did the trails. Oh yeah, then we're back to the Yeti, and then the Stonebridge running. So Grace Crow and Jeff Johnson. That was a hilarious aid station and so cool looking. Did anybody get to sit on the blow up lounge?
No, but I saw pictures of it. You showed me a picture of it.
Yeah.
It looked awesome.
Yeah, it was
Comfy.
really.
Best purchase ever. An inflatable couch. Who knew?
Right.
And
It
then
almost didn't look inflatable.
It didn't. I didn't think so either.
No, it looked real. It looked real.
yeah, it was very classy. On the bridge, like with that great view of the other. So you're on the one bridge and looking at the other big iron bridge. It was so cool. And then Dr. Lauren Wills, she took care of the 50-mile finish line, and she crushed that. She was getting pictures of all the runners as they finished, and she did a really, really great job. And then, so then aid station 16, because that were kind of, oh no, I almost was like Michelle. I was going to skip the run junkies. Aid station 11. So Katrina Baltz, she ran a relay team and also took care of an aid station. And Katrina is just the sweetest person that you'll ever meet. So totally awesome. And they had like the best tacos in the world at their aid station. Did you get one, Michelle?
I did.
Oh.
Yeah. That is definitely a perk of delivering the volunteer swag to each aid station. I ate well.
Yeah.
But hands down, best tacos. And I hope Arturo was able to get out there and get a taco. And if you're watching, Arturo, what did you think of their tacos?
Yeah.
I know he's a connoisseur, so.
Yeah.
He is a connoisseur.
Yeah, his mom makes the best tacos too. Crystal, didn't you get to pace him at his virtual 100 and have tacos?
Yeah, last year he did his virtual 100, and his parents brought like these trays of meat and fixins and all. Oh, it was so good. Like we just ate like kings and queens. It was so good.
Yeah, that was Hennepin as well. That was him and a bunch of other people. Yeah, that was cool. Let's see then. Yeah, so then we'll skip now finally to the Pineapple Oasis. And that's Patrick Morris. And I wish I would have looked up the name. There was a gal that volunteered there, and she sent me a thank you for getting to hang out with Patrick all night. She was so happy that that's where she, was assigned to. And that's a tough aid station because that would be the first one you got to, Ryan. And that's kind of a long little stretch between those stations. And for the 100-mile runners, they can start slowing down right there. Do you got any stories from Patrick's aid station, or were you still so hyped at that time you just kind of blew through?
I did kind of blow through it because I was like ahead of my race goals at that point. So and my wife was there, so it was real smooth. But I did know a lot of people, so it was really hard to be like, hi, and keep trying to get through there. So, I was definitely my best aid station pass through in terms of my race goals. So I enjoyed it, and everyone was like, what can I get you? And I even feel like I saw some pictures posted of us coming through. So it was an all around good experience.
Yeah.
And my first ultra aid station, except for the starting line. So.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's cool. And then, so Kayla is tube fed.
Kala, yes.
Or Kala. I always say it backwards. So Kala is tube fed. Where did you have that planned at?
So she ate right before the race started, and then our plan was aid station 20. I really wish I had run just a little bit faster, but she didn't seem to care. We still hooked her up there, and she was good.
Yeah, that's really an extra challenge for you on the race, and really interesting that you did that. Did you put it in a drop bag, or how did you have that there?
Well, see, originally I was going to have it in a drop bag, but then my wife last minute was like, I'll crew you. And so it turned out really good and a real good family experience. So she actually helped me get her all hooked up, and she had it ready and everything. So she pulled her out, changed her, got her everything while I like inhaled a sandwich. It was pretty awesome. And she really got the ultra bug. Like, she understands now what I mean. Like, no, you're my pit crew.
Yeah. That was great. That was so nice of Amanda to come, and so awesome.
Yeah. She enjoyed herself. She helped a few other runners too. And she's like seeing that the community is more than just the runners.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and you can see that by some of the aid stations. Like the next one after that, the next one after that's Lcm Run Club. They are a running club that's along the canal, and they've been doing that nighttime aid station. And they had a couple runners. They hadn't done any ultras yet, but this year they had a couple runners that did ultras there, so that was pretty exciting. Elizabeth Lara just popped in, so congratulations, Elizabeth. She just had her first 100-mile race at Hennepin. Earned her cherry pop shirt. And then, so then like aid station 18, so that is the Henry County Sheriff's Patrol, and those are not runners at all. But they've been helping us with the race since year one, and came to our very first meetings, and they're like, so 100 miles, like, what do they sleep? I don't understand. How does that work? How many days is this? It's like a week or what? It's like, no, they got 30 hours, and they just jumped in, and they help us keep track of all the runners and the for that part of the course. They coordinate with all the different counties so that we have emergency service everywhere and everybody's ready for us. And they're just a huge, huge help to the race. And then the Primos Running Club, which was aid station 19, that's the one you fed at, right, with Ryan, the Primos. And I heard Ed was, Ed Mayhew, legend at the Hennepin. He told me, Michelle, you really got to make sure you see Primos aid station because it was super cool. But I did not have time. We had really fast runners, and I had to start racing Scott, that was winning the race, to the finish line. So I had to skip it. But what was their aid station like?
It was big. Do you remember it, Ryan, much?
I remember being overwhelmed by it at that point in the race. It was so big. There were a lot of choices and stuff, so I just relied on someone else to tell me. I'm like, I don't know, what should I eat? Because I was struggling with my nutrition at that point, so they were very helpful. here, try this. Here, try this.
Yeah, Royal, when he was delivering, he stopped by there at like 8:00 in the morning, and they were like, him and Brian, they're like, do you think somebody will be here? And Brian's like, there's no way. It was like, hours and hours beforehand, and they were like already there, like a big family picnic, decorating. They're really good about putting a bunch of glow sticks up. We always leave glow sticks with all the aid stations and their aid station supplies, but they bring extra stuff. And I think that they had like pineapple trees or like palm trees, like lit up palm trees and stuff along there. Yeah, really super nice aid station. And then the next one and our last one, except for we do have one unmanned station, just like a mile from the finish line where we got water, but nobody really takes anything from there, would be the Quad Cities Trail and Ultra Runners. And so Michaela Melky, she took care of that aid station, and first time captain, the captain that is normally there, Jim, he had to work. He ended up coming and helping at this station still, but the Quad Cities Trail and Ultra Runners, they do a fantastic job. And then we also had a lot of really great performances there. So we had a new female course record, Jill Watcha. She was the first overall 100K finisher. So like she chicked Kettle, and she really, I don't know if I should give anything away, but she was a little sad at Kettle, even though she overall won, because she was about 2 hours slower than she thought, but it was so hot. Hi, Anna. Another first-time 100-miler just popped in. And then Raptor 54, too. Hello. I don't know who Raptor 54 is. And, but anyways, so Jill, she was going after the course. It was her first 100, but she's so talented and she trained so hard. She knew that she felt in her heart that she could get the course record. And I was at the Crystal, were you at the finish? I'm sure you were at the finish line. I don't know if you took like one short nap.
Right.
But she did get the course record.
Honestly, it was all a blur to me.
It was.
I just remember I had the microphone the whole time. That's all I remember.
Yeah, Crystal likes the microphone and to yell across Kelowna.
Oh my gosh, and my throat was hurting so bad, so I couldn't be as like enthusiastic as I normally am. Like my throat is still hurting, not necessarily from that, but just from like my allergies have been bad and stuff. And then yelling made it worse. So Nikki was like, "You sound real enthusiastic over there," and I'm like, "I'm sorry."
Yay! Great job.
Woo! The Sid woo we needed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so Rapty 54 says that he was they were, I'm not sure if it's a guy or a gal, was our 50-50 runner. So.
Oh, that's right.
Do you remember that?
I think so.
Elizabeth Laura says you were amazing, by the way, Crystal.
Oh, thank you.
But we were all horse. I mean, I was trying really hard to drink all water, very good. And I was losing my voice too. And it was Crystal's birthday. Did everybody know that? Did we sing happy birthday?
Yeah, I sang it remember, because there was 2 other girls whose birthday it was. So I sang happy birthday, and then I said to you and me.
Oh yeah, when they finished.
Yep.
And then you got we got birthday cupcakes from Paxton's Corner Coop in Anawan. You gave a lot of those away.
Oh, I ate a lot of them.
Oh. Which one was your favorite?
I like the strawberry. There was a strawberry one that was really good. And then the cookies and cream one was really good too. Yeah. And then also the raspberry one was good. And then so like I made sure I had one of each flavor.
Uh-huh.
So I think there was like maybe like 5 or 6 different flavors in there, because there was 2 of each. So I had one of each for sure.
Yeah, so that was by the pineapple aid station. And those guys were lucky because I actually, when I stopped by to say hi to their aid station, I bought them like a big 12-pack for the volunteers and dropped it off.
Nice.
But if anybody's crewing there, make sure that you stop at that Paxton's Corner Coop. Like they're just gorgeous cupcakes. People come from all over the place. They're all homemade. They make like homemade like huckleberry ice cream and stuff like that. So it's really cute. I think Michelle had some fun there with all doing a selfie fest. Like what did they got going on?
Yeah, it was like, 9:30 at night. It's at a 4-way stop. And I went through it. There was nobody around. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to go back and take some selfies. They have an astronaut. You step up into it.
Yep.
It was really good for me to learn how to use my camera on the timer. I took a nap on the couch. It was a real cow. Yeah, I'm just full of dad jokes. What else? It's just they have lots of great props there.
Did they have the skeleton sitting out on the porch?
I didn't see the skeleton.
Yeah.
Do they usually have it out there like in a chair or something?
So when Kaylee and we were kind of doing what you were doing in 2019. We kind of bopped from aid station to aid station and delivered stuff to people. And we stopped there and Kaylee got a homemade oatmeal cream pie. This thing was so big, homemade, but there was a skeleton out on the porch, like sitting in a chair. So Kaylee sat next to him and I took a picture of her. So I was hoping that the skeleton would still be there.
Nope, I didn't see him.
Yeah,
or her.
They have an ambulance that's a cupcake emergency ambulance, and they go set up at like a food wagon. And when we were actually at I was at the Pineapple Aid Station, which is right down the road from it, and it went by and beeped at us as we were like, oh, that's actually why I went over there and got cupcakes. I'm like, oh, I should go get these guys cupcakes. We're right here, and I went over there. So I hope that they enjoyed it. Maybe that's why I got a thank you from that note, because I gave them all the yummy cupcakes. But so we were talking about Jill and she got the course record. She believed in herself that maybe she could. She worked really hard, and then she did. And it was really cool to see, like, the energy from her was just like bursting. She was like flying through the air when she crossed the line. She's like, I did it. It was, what was it like? I look it up. It was like 16 hours. I mean, it was really super fast. On a hot day, I could take a look. And she ended up, I think it was the 9th fastest female 100-mile this year in the USA. Let's see here.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah, 16:04:35. That's a 9:38 pace on that day. So really good. Yeah, 9th fastest. And then we also had some other ones that got one of the fastest for the year there. Lindsay Phoenix, she did. And did you guys get to see Lindsay out there on course? She was hurting. Her back was very early on, and she still crushed it.
That's the runner that
go ahead, Ryan.
Amanda actually was able to help.
Oh, that's
because
cool.
We met at the non-crew aid station, the police and fire or sheriff or whatever. And I asked her if she had trekking poles, and she's like, why do people keep asking you this? I'm like, I'm asking because my wife's 4 miles away with mine if you want them. And she did take one of them for a while, and my wife rubbed stuff on her. And when I finished, I was like, what? That chick placed? I was so floored. She was a little disappointed, I gathered from our conversation in her performance, but I mean, like, what she went through to get there and place like that, I thought was awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I watched the video, and early on you could see that her back was bothering her, but I mean, she still did 19:29 was her time. And 11:41 pace, that is. And she sat down at every single aid station and was putting biofreeze on and trying to take care of herself. I mean, just really remarkable. And I don't know if you guys know, but she is like a real life total model, like goes over to Paris and all that stuff. But she's also a badass runner that we absolutely adore and are super. We've had her on the podcast, so you'll have to watch that if you haven't. We should have her on the podcast again because she was really awesome. I'd like to hear about the story of that. And then she came with Joshua Holmes, which is I met Joshua at like one of his first 100-mile races, and he has like tons. I mean, I can't. Lots. I mean, he was doing them like every weekend practically. But I met him at Pumpkin Holler probably in like 2008 or something, which he reminded me that I beat him at that race that year. So the only time ever that I would beat him, but I think he thought I was going to die at one point, and I came back and did okay. Trying to see who else we had. There were some other, we definitely had some really fast ones. And then the guy I just lost my link. Scott that came from Massachusetts. I did not want to have to say that. He came from MA. Let's see if I can find this. He thought there was a chance that he could do sub 13 hours if everything came together. I lost my link for that. Where is it? Shoot. I lost the link for the times. I guess I shouldn't do this on a link. But anyhow, he did really well, and he finished, so he ended up being closer to like 14 hours. So still really super fast.
Trayer,
yeah, Scott Trayer. Do you get his time?
13:44. 13:44.
13:44.
Yeah. Oh wait, he's on here twice. He's runner number 5 and runner number 7.
Where's this at? Which one are you looking at? Ultra Sign Up?
Ultra, the running magazine thing.
Ultra Sign Up says 13:54.
Yeah, so the Ultra magazine one, that's probably another race that he was at.
Okay. 13:54, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so he was hurting at the end. I mean, we did need to give him a bucket, but he despite him hurting, he waited to congratulate everybody as they were coming in. He didn't want to get up. He was just like, "Hey, I'm here on the chair. Congratulations." But he stayed there for hours, super nice. And he was actually on his way out to Arizona, where he was going to help Jamil Curry at some of the Aravaipa races. He took a job with them. So, yeah, that was really special that we got to have him at the race. And then we had another person that was really special, this is a huge announcement. I'm glad we got a lot of people sitting in here, but this is really, really big news for the Hennepin 100. And so one of the people that signed up for the race, I was like looking through the list of everybody that was signed up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, Monica DeVries is signed up, who I know is the founder, a lady founder of Rabbit Clothing. And she has a really awesome running store in Santa Barbara, California. When I worked for Squirrel's Nut Butter, I visited all the stores in California, and her store was one of the stores that I visited, and it's really super nice, really close to the beach. And she's, quite the badass runner, and she did really well. She finished in the nighttime, and I said, "Oh, Monica, congratulations." She's like, "Well," she's like, "Oh, are you Michelle?" And I said, "Yeah." She goes, she highly complimented the race and offered to sponsor. So I've been talking today, and for 2022, Hennepin 100 finishers will have a rabbit flannel shirt. Like it's insane. I've already seen pictures and it is insane. So very, very exciting news.
It's awesome.
So all you guys got to do it again.
Oh. Okay.
But I need to order. So I'm going to open registration soon because I need to order them now. And it's going to, it's male and female specific. And there probably, if you don't sign up early, I mean, there is going to be a chance that you won't get the rabbit one. But we've been filling up pretty quickly, so hopefully everybody signs up early and gets the rabbit one. And I'll order some extra as well. So that was pretty exciting news.
It's going to be like an immediate sellout.
I would think so. I mean, I would run 100 miles for a rabbit flannel Hennepin 100 finisher shirt. Like, that's all I need.
Right.
Like, that's the coolest swag I've ever heard of, besides that gorgeous buckle that Leslie Mitchell designed for this race.
Mm-hmm.
So really good. So what else happened? What other fun stories do we get from the race?
Well, I loved how at the finish line, there's I call them the old guard. I don't know what everyone else calls them, but Sherry, Ed and Diane and the mayor and all the people, and they just sit in the pavilion and they're just chatting and helping. And I mean, they're the first ones, runner coming, and they go up and they clap for every single person. And I mean, I got to stay at Sherry's house, and I'm telling you, I feel like I met another mom. She was just super awesome. And I ended up staying up way too late talking to her that night. And she was just so sweet. And I just can't wait to volunteer again, just to hang out with those guys.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure.
And the fire department, wow.
Mm-hmm.
They were they would overhear us having issues and would come and solve the problem before we even had a chance to go and talk to them. So They were I thought they were amazing.
Well, after my race, I sat there for a long time just cheering and watching all my friends that finished hundreds. But the person that I saw zooming around like a little Energizer bunny was actually you, Nikki.
Yeah.
I couldn't even get an opportunity to really say hi or anything because you were so busy. So
I don't even know what I was doing. I feel like I was just walking from where I had all the merchandise set up to the finish line 7 million times.
Yeah, how many times did you set up the merchandise over the course of the week?
Oh my gosh, how many times did we set up the merch, Nikki?
Listen, I'm a professional tent mover, so if anyone ever has to move, I've got you. A lot, but now I really know how I want it for the future, so it's all good. And I thought the merchandise turned out really good. I thought we sold a lot, and I got pretty good at memorizing everything we had so that people could come in and know what size they were. And I'd be like, sorry, we don't have larges, but if you want this, we can work that out. So yeah, I tried to help everybody as much as I could.
Yeah, you did fantastic. It was, it's over the years, we learn something every year, and we keep building the team, and the team's really super strong right now. I'm not worried about everything going on course. Because I know I got Michelle out there, going between aid stations, taking care of stuff. Crystal was following the way down the trail, and the aid station people are just amazing. But the one thing that we were really missing was at the finish line, and Nikki came this year and just freaking crushed it. It was so good. Really, it looks so nice down there.
Yeah.
I got to be at the finish line because normally I'm at an aid station and I never see anybody finish. So, I mean, that was just a huge perk for me.
Yeah. And then the mayor was out picking up runners on course that dropped on the course. How cool is that?
I know. I was going to bring that up because he was the only one that would offer to go. A runner, I think a 50K runner came in, and then he was going to go back out and meet one of his buddies to run with. And the mayor's like, all right, I'll take y'all. And then I don't think he came back for 2 hours because he was out picking things up and moving people around.
I think that everybody in town was like, don't give Michelle my phone number. She calls me at 2 a.m. Because I really was. Everybody is like, hey, can you go do this? But the town definitely, they showed up and were really, really great at taking everybody. So thank you, Kelowna.
Mm-hmm.
And we also, there's lots of different pieces in Kelowna, which we should also talk about the fire station. And those fire cadet boys. How totally
so
cute are they?
Yes.
Cute.
Yeah.
They had on their little work boots. They probably wouldn't like us to say their little work boots because they were pretty tough. You know, I don't know, how old do you guys think they were?
12, 13.
Yeah. And they worked all night long, the entire time, like taking care of runners, and like John Swan, the fire chief, who works really super hard. He was trying to do something and they're like, you sit down, we'll take care of that. They were, like, you need to rest. And they were like, just working until they got it done and taking care of the runners. And we gave them, I wasn't sure if I'd get in trouble with their parents or not, and they assured me that I would not. So hopefully I did not, but I gave them both a run your ass off buckle because they definitely ran their ass off. They thought it was pretty cool. So that was awesome.
That buckle would go very well with their work boots.
Yeah, so I don't know. I might be on, like, Kelowna might be like, what's Michelle doing? Run your ass off to our kids that are, like, so good. And then
also
go ahead. No, you go, Sid.
I was just gonna give a shout out to Megan.
Oh yeah.
And her son.
Oh yes.
They were moving from the time I got there on Friday to packing everything up. So I just didn't want to forget about them.
Yeah, that's really good. So yeah, Megan is my cousin, and like as we were building our team for the race, I was driving one day and I'm like, and I do really like to try to bring as many women as possible. I love you, Sid and Ryan. But I definitely like try to work hard to make sure more women are brought in. I'm like, who do I know that's really strong that can help me with this and super organized? I'm like, oh, my cousin Megan. So I called her and she's like, yeah. And it's so hard. It's like what they do. It's so hard. And her and her son Kyle came, and they keep getting better every year, and they were great the first year. So they're super valuable to the race. So that was awesome. Oh, Corey Reese then too. Our speaker, and Nikki should tell the story about him on course.
I know. I wish I could. I think it was one of his stories, so I can't even look it up on Instagram, but I don't even know where that was. So it was near the finish line where he was running and all of a sudden just saw that like a huge spider in like one of the tunnels, and stopped and posted it on Instagram. I don't know.
I thought it was in a porta potty.
Oh, it was. Yeah. That's
in
what
a
it was.
toilet paper roll.
Oh. You're right. That's what it was. Blech.
So the spiders had built a web and like had a floating toilet paper roll. And then the spider was in the roll.
Right. Yeah. I like
that is pretty terrifying.
He had written he posted something about how he stayed with Ed and Diane, and said how he's usually kind of quiet, but he was going to push himself like out of his comfort zone. And like, that's what I feel like I do with Sherry. So it was just an interesting story how he just felt like he was part of the community and like of those people, and just loved it, and said how much he enjoyed staying there.
Yeah, it was really special because I got to stay there too with them, and it's tradition for them. They go sit on the front porch, and beer, and Ed likes everybody. I don't really drink, but anybody that drinks beer, Ed loves you to come over, sit on the front porch and drink a beer with him. Like, that's super duper important. And so we had a bunch of good nights out there sitting on the front porch, just absolutely perfect and relaxing. That was really nice. But yeah, Ed and Diana, are amazing to the race, and we just come in like a whirlwind in their world and just blow up the town of Kelowna, and they're such good sports about it. So, what else do we have that we need to share that I'm not remembering? Any other good stories on course, or do you got any good stories?
I wanted to add, since we were talking about Corey, I knew he was on course, and I knew I was going to see him on the out and back at some point. Unfortunately, it was after Corey picked him up as pacer, and so all I saw was Corey, and I didn't even notice the other Corey.
Yeah.
Corey Waltering. So
Yeah.
So I didn't even notice him running with him. And then after the fact, I was like, oh, that was stupid. Yeah.
Oh, well,
a lot of great runners.
Well, I think that Corey Reese, he's going to have to come back for the rabbit shirt now. So he just finished, and he didn't get a rabbit shirt. So you'll have to see him next time when you're going for your rabbit shirt.
Well, him and I have the same rabbit shirt, so
yeah.
I should have noticed that too.
Yeah. We had two. He got my husband, so I was packing. Nikki and I were packing thank you gifts. We should talk about some of the stuff that Nikki did, because Nikki does a lot to get ready for the race, actually.
We already did that.
Well, you didn't.
but
not from the trailhead. Like, just talk about, like, so when we're here at the, so Nikki's downstairs at the trailhead right now. We're in Crystal Lake. The podcast room's upstairs, and Nikki's at the shop every day. But I mean, everything that's super nice, like a lot of it she set up, but I'll let her tell kind of how crazy it was.
Well, I mean, I wish I should have taken some pictures of the warehouse, because I should have taken pictures when we were right before we left, because I mean, the shelves are about 75% empty because we brought, I mean, so much of it is like the Virgin shirts and the flannels, and then the Hennepin shirts and the bags and the buckles and everything. I mean, you have some great swag, Michelle. It's a good race. People, they shouldn't be unhappy with the things that they got, even if they don't finish the race. But if they finish it, man, it's, they have so much. And then we just brought so much of the Mule shirts, and the cool Mule is a very popular logo. People really seem to like it.
Yeah, it's got the Hennepin Canal and the glasses.
Yeah, we just had it so much packed up, and it was a lot of stuff. There's a lot to do still. Get it all back put on the shelves.
Yeah, and then we got a race soon. So
I know.
But I mean, Nikki did a great job, because we're taking care of 550 people. We're feeding them. We need to get stuff to 20 different aid stations, and so having them boxed up, very clearly labeled, is a lot of work. And then getting them onto trucks in time or in nice order so that they go to the right spot. I mean, Nikki took care of a lot of that stuff, plus the volunteer boxes and stuff like that. So,
well, Royal did a lot of those volunteer boxes. Your son is amazing, Michelle. You guys, your whole family. I mean, just watching you guys over that day. Which next time I'm gonna mom you way harder than I did this time, because you didn't eat and you didn't sleep. So that's gonna have to happen at the next one. I mean, I didn't see Royal or Brian until, I don't know, 3:00 on Sunday. That was like the first time I saw them. So you guys, you kill it, and you don't rest until everything's perfect, and everything's never perfect because it's too big an event. So you just don't rest.
Yeah, I mean, it went really well this year. I did sit down. I did close my eyes and tried to sleep, but then I'm thinking, man, I sure hope that somebody doesn't finish. And like, I had met a really nice guy at the gas station in the morning, and he was so energized, like on Saturday morning before the race, like when I was getting coffee, he was already up and like all excited. And I really wanted to see him finish, and I could tell he was probably going to be really fast. And so this was like during that really fast time where hardly anybody, people was sleeping. All that stuff was just making me nervous. So I like shut my eyes for like 30 minutes, but I didn't really sleep. And Little Row, Little Row, I can't not say Little Row, because my husband is Big Row, and Big Royal, and my son is Little Royal, and my son is 6'4", so he's not very little, but he was, it was actually his first time at the race, and he was amazing. He's always super amazing at the race. He's the one behind the scene now making this podcast happen. And then, but you know who we forgot to mention, which I am in major trouble for, which I can't believe I didn't say anything, because super duper important to so many people on the course, was Coach Loretta, who came out from Michigan. And so she started the 50K, and she was like taking care of runners. She had all kinds of athletes that, like Sam Stemick, that did really well on the course. She had somebody at Boston today. She has lots of athletes that she coaches. And it was Ryan. Yeah, she's made Ryan so much stronger. And you were a strong runner to begin with. So really, she has.
Sam came in sixth place for Sam.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And I think she was third female, right? And sixth overall. Yeah, so 6th overall, third female. And she had some stomach issues too. So she really fought through. But yeah, that was really good. Yeah, my husband, and I don't know, we have a really good team that I'm super grateful for. And Hennepin just is a very feel-good race. It is our biggest race. I know a lot of people, some people might think Kettle's our biggest race, but Hennepin for sure is our biggest race. And we kept it small even this year because of COVID. I wanted to make sure we didn't get canceled by being too big.
Also Ryan Chakuski and his wife also ran. They didn't finish because they had stomach issues or breathing issues. I don't remember which it was, but they also ran.
Yeah, he had breathing issues. So he was I don't know for sure, but I think that he might have like got some like volcano dust or something that's been causing him some breathing issues. And
kind of beast to just say though, I got some volcano dust in my lungs.
Maybe I just started a really cool rumor about him. I know it had to do with when he was out running by the volcano, and it's caused him to have some breathing issues. But yeah, that was funny because we drew his name at the pre-race meeting, and I actually wanted him to be part of the pre-race meeting, and then we didn't organize anything. And then I reached into the thing and I pulled his name. I'm like, well, I guess he is going to be part of it. But then I'm like, I can't say his name.
In my head, it always looks like Chuckles to me.
Yeah.
And he also chuckles a lot. So like, that's how I remember who he is I call him Ryan Chuckles in my head.
Yeah, we need to have him on the podcast again. He gets along well with us. He's really fun. And he's got a new book coming out too. So, well, tomorrow night, let's see, how long were we tonight? I don't see our clock. But tomorrow night we have Grace Crow on. Oh yeah, we're good. We're about an hour, so that's good. We got Grace Crow on.
I am so excited for Grace, and then the one that comes the week after. I am like stoked for these upcoming podcasts.
Is it Lauren the week after? Yeah, so Dr. Lauren Will. So all the Yetis, the awesome Yetis. And we're also working with Loretta. I want to get Loretta on with Sam. And because that coaching relationship, I think, is really cool, and Sam's done really well. And then we want, and I talked to Jill, our course record holder for the female, and she's going to come on too. So like, we're going to try to get those all on, and you know, like the next month, it'll just be Hennepin fever here at Ornery Mule Racing. And then of course we're going to have to talk about Nikki. Good luck to her. What are you doing next weekend?
I don't know, man. Now I remember 100K at Mines of Spain.
Yeah, woo!
Right. Good. It's supposed to be cool and no rain, like so far. So I don't even care
Nice.
about the rain. I just don't want it to be hot.
Yeah. Oh, that is so awesome. I'm so excited. Yeah, there's a bunch of people that are going to be there. I am kind of planning on not going, but it's going to be really hard for me to stay away because I really want to see Nikki finish her 100K. And other
Yeah,
people.
me
And
too.
Natasha, I want to see her. And Tara.
Oh yeah,
like
she's
just,
running. Yep.
well, that's good. And Sid, you're going out there to volunteer?
Yeah, I'm at aid station 2, pretty much the whole time. So I'll get to see everybody. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, well, good luck, all of you guys there. And that's actually the people that run our aid station 20 is the people that put on that race. So really exciting. So I think that's it, unless anybody else has anything that they want to share. I'm sure afterwards we're going to be like, man, we forgot to tell everybody about this.
Well, being a local of the Hennepin, where the event starts in Sterling and Rock Falls, this event is so important to me. And thank you so much, Michelle, for starting this huge event and everybody who volunteers and comes out. I see the positive effects of everyone coming here, and it really means so much. Thank you.
Oh, well, thank you. Was it you or Lauren that was I think it was you or both of you about the same time were the first people that emailed me. Like I had barely got it up on Ultra Sign Up and like, just like the Yetis in the morning bringing me the oil, you're like, what's going on? You're putting on a race here?
It was Lauren's sister, Dawn.
Okay.
Yeah, she and Dawn is my best friend. And so Lauren, Dawn, and I have become like sisters. So, yeah.
Yeah. It has been a positive for the community, which we're hoping for. And I mean, everybody working together is what has made it great. And plus it's just an amazing trail on top of that. But there was a really funny story that I heard from Laura Mangrum. She was out at Sheffield at the Casey's gas station, which the Casey's are like all over the place. They're awesome gas stations, and they have everything that you need, and they're country sort of gas stations. And the manager's going, "We're gonna run out of gas. What are all these people doing here?" And they literally ran out of gas because there was so many crew members out there. And I had told them that week that the race was that weekend, but it must be a new manager because I don't think they quite understood. I mean, you're talking like 1,000 crew people that are out there driving around. But I mean, that made me really happy that they had a really good business day and all the hotels were sold out. People were staying as far as Rockford, that if they were really late, and like Quad Cities. Yeah.
That's really far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how far it is. Would it be like, I don't know, about 50 minutes?
Yeah. It's an hour from
It's
Sterling.
an hour.
Yeah.
It's a good hour
Yeah,
to the finish line.
Yeah. I live in Rockford, and it took me an hour and a half to get from the finish line to my house in Rockford, and it's about an hour to Sterling. So
Yeah, I think they could have found something closer because like Princeton has a lot of hotels. I'll have to take a look at the website, make sure we got enough links up of the places you can stay. Or maybe they just had family there, but I know somebody had told me that they were staying in Rockford. So that's really, I mean, it makes me real happy to know that our race that was 120 people the first year is now filling hotel rooms all over the place. So,
and Michelle, you have Soul Crusher is a week from Saturday, right?
Yep.
Okay. And is it still open for people to sign up?
It is. And we have the coolest swag for that. We got.
It's right here.
I will be volunteering at it.
Yeah, it's and Jeff are just absolutely cracking up on making the design for the course. Like they're so excited. They've got lots of really
I love this.
it moves.
So cool.
And the guy's race shirt is gray, and the women's is like a light blue color, and then it's got the skull on the front of it, so the race shirt looks really cool. I haven't been able to post a picture of it because I don't have a picture, but as soon as they arrive, we'll be folding them, and I can post a picture. But I'm pretty sure, like right now, you're pretty safe on getting a size because I ordered probably 75 more shirts than we have runners right now. So you're gonna get your shirt size, I'm pretty sure. Even though it's a little bit late sign up, but yeah, sign up. We need to be bigger so that we can come back next year because we need enough runners to be able to pay for everything. And I'm very determined that race makes it because Jeff are just working so hard on it. I mean, it's an absolute passion. I mean, I'm doing all the design stuff and they're doing all the course stuff and they're just having a blast. It's going to be they're so excited to show everybody the course. So, okay, well, I think that's it unless anybody else has anything. And everybody that tuned in, thank you so much. We really appreciate you tuning in. Last minute show, and thanks so much for tuning in. And tune in tomorrow night too. And we will see you. Thanks for coming. Bye everyone.
Bye.
Bye.